What is up, guys? The Wrestling Roundtable is back. There's no guests with us this time, mainly because I couldn't really find any guests. Some of them weren't on for the time that we were doing it, so I really would like guests on here. I would really do. You first off, you gotta test. You gotta ask me in a month in advance because me and Alan, we kind of work on this together. It's mainly his idea. He brought it up to me, so he gives me the dates when he's available, so we could do it together. That's the whole point because I want Alan to be on here, and I don't work through your time. I work through his time mostly, so it's our schedule pretty much. It's what we can do. So it would be appreciative if you hit me up like a month in advance. We can test out your mic, and I'll keep you updated, and I'll have a list of people, but Alan, introduce yourself, buddy, because I just got through the intro already.
What's up, everybody? This is Alan Sturk here, and basically we're going to be covering major two wrestling companies. Yes, I consider TNA a wrestling company, but
let's dive into ROH. So Kevin Steen faced Rhino.
Yeah, we're not. I heard something about Kevin Steen facing Matt Hardy, and oh god. Sorry, I know the hate bandwagon of Matt Hardy's in it because he stopped acting like a dumbass, but I still hate Matt Hardy. But yeah, I'm Alan Sturk. You know, we'll give you all our plugs after, but it's the Wrestling Roundtable, and it's been pretty good the past couple of weeks. I think I'm starting to enjoy WWE more, and I think TNA's doing solid. Even though we're going to talk into why I'm not too big on Aries Hardy, but we'll discuss.
Yeah, let's go with that. Aries versus Jeff Hardy. I'm personally fine with it if the right decision is made of probably maybe Aries keeping the belt or Hardy winning the belt because they need someone to win that Bound for Glory series. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. But in all honesty, by the signs of Jeff Hardy and what he's doing, now I'm kind of thinking it's going to be the wrong decision. It will be a good matchup, but it kind of feels like Hardy's leaving to go up north, which I'd be fine with, by the way, if he went up north.
Oh, I get what you mean. The issue, well, I always had, beginning issue I had was obviously because I wanted Bully Ray to win, but then I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to accept Hardy in Aries because I know he's come on show, but after reading reports, it's kind of like you just gave it to Hardy because they're like, all right, we're going to give him the Bound for Glory win just so he could stay with us, or at least we're going to give him a good shot. I just think Hardy kind of, I don't know if you could say politicked his way, but I don't know.
I don't think Jeff Hardy politicked his way. It was more of Hulk Hogan was like, listen, brother, we need to keep Jeff Hardy here. Otherwise, we're the fucking shitter, dude. And then that's what he probably was trying to say to them. Because
I love that Hulk Hogan voice. That shit. But, I just read, you have to be blind not to see those online reports. Everyone was reporting how Hardy's considering one major more payday, and I don't really blame him. I think he could go do that if he wants. But
yeah, I just noticed like his motions in the ring and kind of how he was acting the past couple of weeks on Impact. It kind of just felt like he didn't want to be there right now. Like he's just waiting out. Like you've known like superstars in the past, like in the WWE, when they know that their contract's up, they just don't give a shit and they just be lazy. That's how I saw with Jeff Hardy. I just saw Jeff Hardy being lazy as of late, and I'm just kind of thinking to myself, we better get a good Bound for Glory match because I heard this is going to be the main event. Now, do you agree that this should be the main event?
I think obviously Storm Root has more build up and whatever, but I want to make a comparison quick with this. Do you see a little Hardy Aries, not from like the build up, but like with like Cena and Punk? Do you see how Aries is kind of like the Punk here, where he's kind of like turning a little tweenerish on, and while Hardy's Cena, even though Hardy hasn't been champion in a while, he's still like the most over face in the company.
Yeah.
It seems like. So I'm seeing a little like Cena Punk into this thing of how like Aries is jealous, like you saw on Thursday, or whenever you watched it, how Aries was like, he was complaining, why are you stealing my spotlight, blah, blah, blah.
Why'd you tag me in, bro? Why'd you tag in, bro? And then it's like Jeff Hardy's like,
I kind of like the build-up so far, but I don't want it to be the same thing as Cena Punk, though, where Aries turns heel.
I don't want Aries to turn heel because you already got two monster heels. Aries would be a third wheel of the heels. Like Bully Ray's number 1 and then Bobby Roode's number 2. Like you can't do that. Like Aries is fine as a baby face. I mean, shit, Bully Ray and Bobby Roode are fine. And then, I think it's people may disagree, But in the near future, Daniels will get a world title shot. I mean, he's gotten world title shots in the past. It's not like it's a new concept. I mean, in the near future, he will get it. It's not like he will win it, but getting a world title shot is different than winning a world title.
I agree. And I think Daniels, I see once in a while, like TNA house show results. He's like in the main event on a few house shows. So, and he's still performing at a high level, Daniels. I can't say any bad things about Christopher Daniels. He's been awesome.
Yeah.
Really enjoying him.
Yeah, he's coming up there in age. He's just trying to make the last run count, and then we'll see him in Axe soap commercials or Foot Locker commercials, whatever. He says he's filming commercials for like Axe and Foot Locker or something like that. I'm like, what?
That's crazy. Oh, fun fact here. If you see an old Navy commercial of Mike Ditka, one of the football players holding Dick up is Colt Cabana.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
And just a random old Navy.
Can you?
It's like, you better not drop me or something.
Can you imagine how marked out Colt Cabana must have been being from Chicago and getting to hold Mike Ditka?
Yeah.
I would be marking out too much if I lived it. Like that's like me here in like San Diego getting to lift up LaDainian Tomlinson. That would just be a mark out. That'd be a mark out moment. It's like when you live in a or even like even though I'm not a Lakers fan, just being in LA and say if Kobe wanted to come out in a throne one Laker game, just carrying a throne for Kobe, that would be a mark out moment just because it's like it's Kobe fucking Bryant.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But now back to wrestling or whatever. But
Aries can't turn here.
I think Daniels and Kaz are gonna drop the titles. I don't know to who. I would say maybe give Chavo and Supermax a chance.
Because really, to be honest, AJ and Kurt Angle, you can't keep them tag team champions because it would just be like they're two top single competitor guys that can either go for the TV or the World Heavyweight Championship. And having these two guys kind of just stay in the tag team division, it would help the tag team division out a lot. But this is not like WWE where you could have two former world champions be tag team champions and have a good main event in between. This is TNA. They need to have Angle and AJ be focused on the main event. Chavo and Hernandez are just a simple tag team. I wouldn't mind if AJ and Angle won because it would help the tag team division. But like I said, this is not the WWE. This is TNA. They need all the singles guys they can get to, be in that main event picture. So Chavo and Hernandez, I feel, will be winning that match. But I think that will be an awesome match. That
I agree.
The three-way tag team match, like that's what I wish the WWE would bring back. Those tag team turmoils. I love those matches so much.
Yeah, it's been a while. Shit. But I have two issues with Kurt and Styles. One, it doesn't seem like they have a lot of chemistry. Like at least with Supermax and Chavo, like they do a lot of double team moves. When I see AJ and Kurt, it's just like, okay. And my second issue is I think I got a pretty good feeling that Angle's going to be out for a while. I don't know. He just looks like he's on his last legs, and I think he's going to take 3 months off or something. I don't know.
Seriously, I just wish Kurt would do this. Just once his TNA contract is up, go back to WWE, wrestle one match against either Bryan or Punk, whichever fucker you want to wrestle, or hell, maybe even Orton. One of those three guys. Just wrestle one of them. Retire then. After you put that guy over, I would actually prefer Bryan. I think that would be a really good matchup.
I think Bryan would use him more. I think he could use him.
Oh yeah, he would. Well, I don't know if Kurt's technical, and then retire because I have this fear that at a lockdown, a future lockdown, Kurt Angle always likes to go for that moonsault.
Oh yeah.
I have a fear that Kurt will go for that moonsault, and then later on he'll lie there. And I'm not trying to say this to be a dick or anything, but I do have this fear. He'll just lie there after he misses. And he won't be moving. Like he broke his neck again in the middle of the ring, but it also could cost him his life. I have that fear that Kurt Angle will cost himself his life if he keeps doing this. So I just want Kurt to relax, dude. Like seriously.
Like I remember, I think it was Destination X when he fought Joe, and Joe just did a simple back body drop, and Angle did I think it was like a 360 or a 450 in the air. It was like a crazy pump. I was like, Kurt, what are you doing?
I can still sell, damn it. Dolph Ziggler's not the best seller.
Dude, it was so awesome. I'm like, Kurt, holy shit, you're taking bumps like Dolph Ziggler on freaking concrete.
He's trying to make a point. He's trying to make a point that he's better than Dolph Ziggler. That's how Kurt Angle is. Kurt Angle's a competitive motherfucker.
Props. Yeah.
He's a competitive guy. That's what I love about Kurt Angle. He's very competitive, but he can't be fucking doing that shit with his health. I mean, I just wish Kurt could just take a break. I agree. I think Angle needs to take a break big time. I think it would help him out in the long run for his career. But speaking of, tag teams, well, I don't know if we call this a tag team. What do you think about Sting's two best men against Arm Breaker, I'm guessing, and maybe Chris Masters? Like aces and eights. What do you think about that match? Who do you think Sting would choose as his two best men?
I honestly think they should have done like a 5-on-5.
Yeah, same here. I agree.
More guys on the roster, but I think RVD will be used. I think he's like he's popular. It's not that I'm not crazy about RVD.
Yeah.
Probably Anderson, maybe.
Yeah. See, that's the problem is because I'm happy Joe won the TV title, which we will get into more, and that. But the thing is, Joe would be so perfect for it. I guess maybe if Bully Ray isn't doing anything, Bully Ray could be a guy.
Shit, what are they gonna do with Bully Ray? You're right.
Yeah, but then Bully Ray's a heel, but wouldn't that make him a face? And then it's like, oh god.
I want Bully to stay as a heel.
No, Bully needs to stay as a heel. What if Christian gets forced into this matchup and Christian's like,
dude, I walk out so big.
Christian's like sitting there like, what the fuck? I just came here to induct Sting. No, brother, you have to wrestle this match with us, please, Christian, please.
You gotta wrestle one more match.
And then Christian's like, fuck it, and then he just wrestles a match, and WWE won't care.
Oh man, and you're Mike tonight. Oh my god, it's Christian Cage. And Taz doesn't know what is going on.
Taz is like, hey, look, it's Christian.
No, I think though they're gonna pick like two guys that are pretty over with the crowd that are faces. I think Anderson's probably one in RVD. But honestly, I would have done like a 5-on-5. Get guys on the roster in there. Get guys like.
Even if I'm not a huge fan of Robbie E, but even if Robbie E was in that matchup, it would be good for him. I mean, seriously.
And but you know what I'm afraid of though?
What?
They might put good old Gary Bischoff in the match.
Oh god, if Gary Bischoff's in that. Well, because like I've heard people say like after Impact this week, how Garrett Bischoff kind of like faded away. I've heard this from a couple of reviews that I was listening to. People are saying like, oh, maybe Garrett Bischoff's behind Aces and Eights because it would also make sense why they're also getting into the Impact Zone because Garrett Bischoff is helping them get in. And that's kind of a good theory to think about. I mean, I wouldn't be a fan of it, but that's a good thing to think about. Maybe Garrett Bischoff is behind Aces and Eights too.
It could have. It just like I was just looking at like his facial expressions, how he talks. Just like
he's just boring.
So bland and like he looks scared. Like I remember when Anderson was like attempted to do something, I was just like, this kid looks like he's shitting his pants on television. Like, dude, I'm not a fan of him. I don't know anybody that is.
No, I don't think anyone is like a huge Garrett Bischoff fan unless somehow you can relate to Garrett Bischoff.
Yeah, you just have to have slick back hair, pretty much.
Like it's hard to relate to Garrett Bischoff. That's the problem with him. It's like I guess you could kind of relate. Oh, your dad is a big name in this industry, and you want to make a name for yourself. I guess, but how many people that like the only people that I can really see relating to Garrett Bischoff are like stuck up rich kids, and they probably don't give a shit about him either. Like I just can't see relation to Garrett Bischoff. That's like a problem with his character. You got to relate to some characters sometimes. Like people can relate with Bully Ray on how he's a dick because you live in New York and you get New Yorkers like that too. Bully Ray plays like one of those perfect New York stereotypes that people play in their head. Bobby Roode plays that rich Canadian stereotype in your head. Austin Aries plays as that talented. I don't know. You could say he's a dick sometimes, but he plays that talented dick, and you can relate to that a guy who's very talented and very proud of himself. Yeah. Like you can relate with that, but it's like with Garrett Bischoff. What is he? He's just kind of like a pet. He's just nothing.
There we go. You know what? We're gonna be doing awards in like December, right? Like do thing. But I'm already putting one award down for most improved. We already praised this guy enough, but I still gotta get praised. Bully Ray.
What about Magnus? Magnus should deserve that. Awesome. Bully Ray has that because I remember when they first broke up him and Devon, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Because at first it was like, oh, we're retiring. I'm like, good. Team 3D's finally retiring. That's good. And then all of a sudden they break off. And then I was like, oh my god, Bully Ray, what the fuck are they doing? And then afterwards, he just kind of grew on me. It was just like, oh my goodness, Bully Ray's growing on me? What the fuck? I'm liking Bully Ray?
Yeah,
and now it's like,
I was saying to myself.
Now it's like if him and Rude are not on him, Rude, Storm are not on TV for me. It's kind of hard to watch TNA.
Yeah, good point.
Because
Well,
I remember the
about
3 weeks
Aries?
when. Wait, what were you saying?
What about Aries? Though you're
Oh,
not
oh,
like
Aries, yeah, him too. But I'm saying like those are like my main three. Those are like three guys that I love to see on TNA a lot. Like Aries is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm one of the few people that want Aries to keep the belt, even though it's against kind of business beliefs. Even though it's against business beliefs that you should have Jeff Hardy win, I still want to see Aries with the belt because, to be honest, if Jeff is gonna be doing the shit he's doing, there's no point in giving him a month title reign.
yeah, pretty much. It just annoys me that that they're really just doing all they can to keep Jeff Hardy. And I don't blame TNA because let's face it, Hardy is the biggest draw.
Yeah.
He's still very popular. Just it was so cool to see Billy Ray get that moment. But I'm over it. I was pissed off like a dick. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's like
it's wrestling.
it's wrestling right now.
It's wrestling.
Bully Ray will win the title one point, and I hope he does win the title, even if it's like a 2 month reign. It would be nice for him to win a actual heavyweight championship, even though it's in TNA. But it would be nice for him. And apparently, I heard. Did you hear about Matt Morgan?
Oh yeah, Matt Morgan. He came back to some house show, but I don't know when they're gonna put him back on TV.
Yeah, I heard he was trolling people saying he was going on Monday Night Raw, but now he's back on TNA. Like, do you think he may have something to do with Aces and Eights? Maybe.
It'd be smart to use him in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I would say because they gotta use some guys. Currently, I mean, I like to see one or two guys currently on the roster, and I don't think there's any better way to bring him back than we just gonna show. Oh, there's Matt Morgan. He's coming out.
You awaken the sleepy giant.
I see what happened in 2013. I see Matt Morgan and some guy we're gonna talk about soon. I see Matt Morgan feud with King Mo for some odd reason.
Oh my goodness, that'd be hilarious.
It's the weirdest feud.
Did you watch that MMA Uncensored with King Mo and Batista on it?
I wish I did. I've been looking for the replay. I haven't found it on YouTube.
I think it's on Spike TV. It's on SpikeTV.com.
Alright, how was it? I didn't see it.
It was actually pretty good. King Mo and Batista, apparently they had like they had beef or something, but they squashed it. And the whole episode, Batista, you can barely hear his ass. Like he kind of mumbles a little bit, but it's understandable. It's Batista. And King Mo was very open about professional wrestling. Like he said he couldn't wait. Like he's been training very hard for it, he said. And then the whole episode, he wanted Batista to hit him with a steel chair. But Batista's like, no, I don't want to, man. That's behind me. And then they were doing Twitter questions, and one guy asked Batista, and this was I was very happy to hear this answer from Batista. He was like, "Are you ever going to come back to professional wrestling?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm definitely coming back soon." And I said, "Soon? How soon, Batista?" And then he's like, and then he's like, "Yeah, I left with good terms, and I probably will make one more run in the near future. Just when they're done with this PG crap." So
I don't know about that. I think he'll come back regardless. I know it's just rambling brain stuff, but I think Batista will come back one day. I've never been a huge Batista fan, but I've gained to respect him. I think he's he's open-minded. Like he's very strong with his opinion. Like when he was, I don't know, he said some shit about Daniel Bryan, the whole internet exploded on him. I'm like, dude's giving his opinion,
Yeah,
and
no,
Daniel Bryan wasn't really over.
Yeah,
I was like, I gotta understand where Batista's coming from.
Because like Batista even said in that tweet, they told me to squash Bryan. I said, fuck no, I'm gonna wrestle with him. I was like, how do you disrespect Batista? I mean, but
much props to Batista. I don't know what's gonna happen with his MMA career, but like I said, I think
he discussed that. He said that he's just doing it because he loved MMA because of like Taker and a bunch of other guys that he talked to about MMA, and that him and Bobby Lashley actually were trying to do a fight, but Bobby's manager was being a dick about it, and so that he said that he's kind of just doing it as a hobby. He loves it. He's not trying to be a world champion. He's 40 years old. He understands that there's no place for him to become a world champion in MMA. He's just doing it because he wants to try out something that he loved in his life. He wants to try out something new, so which is good for Batista. I like that.
Yeah, I started gaining respect for him. I used to can't stand him. But then I gained respect for him. I think he's a smart guy. He just does some questionable things, but so does everybody. But back to King Mo, what's the future for us? I know he's gonna be an enforcer, and obviously a match that's probably gonna steal the show and Storm Rude. I don't know what King Mo's gonna do.
Wait, he's gonna be in the Storm Rude match?
Yeah, he's gonna be like an Enforcer.
Oh my goodness, that makes me love that. If you don't know, I'm a huge King Mo MMA fan, so oh my goodness, that makes me love that
I don't
match
know
even
much
more.
I saw a video of him and Rampage squashing beef, and it was pretty funny. I actually enjoyed it a lot. I'm not a Rampage fan, but he seems like a cool guy, and he was funny. He goes to Rampage. Oh, we're gonna be training, or we're gonna be like the Harlem Heat. I'm Stevie Ray, and you're Booker T, and they both start cracking. Imagine he was Harlem Heat.
Oh my, no, but I'm not gonna lie. King Mo is a very good. He's a very good wrestler. Like when Gegard Mousasi was, I know this is MMA talk, but let me just go into it real quick. Gegard Mousasi was like this protege of Fedor Emelianenko. I think anyone knows who Fedor's name is. Pretty much, he was supposed to be unstoppable in the light heavyweight division. Then all of a sudden, King Mo comes and he pretty much just like takes down Gegard and beats the living shit out of him for 5 full rounds. He pretty much beat Gegard at most of Gegard's game, and he won the Strikeforce Light Heavyweight Championship. He's a very good fighter. He got caught obviously for doing drugs, but most fighters I think are always on drugs. Besides John Jones, I think John Jones is the only one. I'm not gonna lie. I just think most fighters are on supplements, and besides John Jones, because I think John Jones is just gifted. I mean, you gotta look at his family first. I mean, his family's fucking gifted as hell, but you know, he was on drugs and whatnot, got suspended for a year, and he's a talented MMA fighter. And so I'm excited for. If he doesn't do too much in ring like Pac-Man Jones did, I'm fine with that.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what the role they do with him. I can see him in a few feuds or whatever, and maybe he'll get more publicity. He's not. I don't know. What would you rank his popularity? Big.
If he was in the UFC, he would have been very popular with a lot of fans. Because you know how some fans like to. I'm not trying to be racist here, but a lot of MMA fans, they get more hyped up for when 2 black people are fighting more than when 2 white dudes will fight.
True.
Like, okay, Rampage versus Jones. Everyone was just more excited about these 2 talking shit than the fight themselves. Rampage versus Rashad, talking shit more than the fight themselves. If King Mo ever made the transition to the UFC, which I think he was going to at one point, he would have been very popular with a lot of fans. He would have been like one of those guys that people are like, I want to see King Mo fight just because he talks shit. So, to be honest, I think that that he would have been very popular, but in terms of his popularity, not so much. Like MMA hardcore fans know him, but I don't think a lot of casuals know who the fuck he is.
I wonder if any of the TNA guys on the roster are going to steal Rampage line, call him Queen Ho. You're Queen Ho. Like, I don't know who would do that. Maybe like Joe or something. It would be pretty funny. But speaking of Joe, you want to talk about the TV title?
Yeah, I was actually surprised. Like seriously, this is what the TV match I thought that they were going to put on, because if you remember last time the TV title was vacated, it was a terrible triple threat. The only credible superstar in that match was Magnus, and the other 2 were Gunner and fucking Murphy. What?
Oh god.
And guess who won that match? Not the legit guy, Magnus.
Gunner, right?
Yeah, Gunner.
Yeah.
What the fuck are they thinking? They're like, Gunner's a future main eventer. No, fuck Gunner. But I was surprised because I literally thought that the TV, because what I first heard was that they were going to do a fatal 4-way. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is TNA. Magnus is going to be in there just because he's legit. Then they're probably going to have some random star like Mr. Anderson. Then there's going to be Gunner and Garrett Bischoff, and Garrett Bischoff will win that belt. And then I'll say, wow. But then when I heard that it's going to just be a one-on-one, and I was seeing the, what's it called? The backstage segments when Hogan was choosing the people. I like those segments where they have to choose.
Cool.
I like those. It's like, now you understand. Now you know who are in the divisions. You know, I like that. So, like when he got rid of Magnus, I was kind of like, why'd you get rid of Magnus? But then it kind of made sense later on. And then when he got rid of Garrett Bischoff, I was like, wow, Hogan's actually making a right decision. Joe versus Anderson. Of course, that match wasn't great, but just seeing Samoa Joe as TV champion, that gives me hope. And by the way, if you guys did not know, Samoa Joe became the 3rd Grand Slam champion for TNA. He is now the 3rd Grand Slam champion. The first is AJ Styles, and the second is Abyss. Congratulations, Samoa Joe. You're the 3rd Grand Slam champion. Much deserved.
Yeah, and like I said, the match was not very good because Anderson's just been awful like the last 6 months. I don't know if it's weight or just his head, but he got the job done. And I honestly thought Magnus was gonna screw him, but that'll probably lead to a nice match between Magnus and Joe at Bound for Glory. And it'll be great. And I remember last year, dude, what was Joe involved? I think with Crimson and Morgan.
Oh god, that shitty triple threat. Where like everyone was mixed up. Like Crimson was getting booed, but he was supposed to be the over baby face. Matt Morgan was kind of in the middle. Like everyone was like, yeah, I like Morgan, but not as much as Joe. And Joe was just getting cheered, and Joe was the heel.
I think it was for the Philly crowd, and then Philly knows their stuff. So
yeah, they know what they're cheering and booing. So
just looking at Bound for Glory in general, I just really hope it's. I'll be shocked if it doesn't top last. Because last year's was pretty lackluster, I thought.
Last year ended in the wrong way. That's how. Because see, some wrestling fans, I feel some people forget how overall the show quality was. Like some fans said Night of Champions was bad just because of the ending to the WWE Championship match. And I'm thinking to myself, that's just an ending to one match. The whole card was pretty solid. I mean, the one gripe I have with Night of Champions was that the tag team match should have been later on in the show, my opinion, because they were booking it like it should be a main part of the show. But, it's just like, how do you base a show off of one match? And I feel most people kind of felt like Bound for Glory sucked, wasn't that great because Rude didn't win the belt. But I feel if Hogan and Steen ended the show, it would have been people would have looked at it in a different light.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think people just, in general, like they just look at the main event or the co-main event, and that's their opinion, and that's stupid.
Yeah, you got to look at the whole show. I mean, because to be honest, the main event, it was a good match between Cena and Punk. I loved it. I thought it was almost as good as their Money in the Bank, almost.
Yeah, definitely. And it was cool, like. We still got to talk a little more TNA, but it was just cool how John Cena did a suicide dive.
What?
German suplex. Wait, what?
John Cena can wrestle? I didn't know John Cena can wrestle. Oh my goodness.
But overall, though, I think another thing about Glory is, what do you think about Tara's heel turn? I think it's all right so far.
Yeah.
I'm not fully into it.
See, what I don't like now is that all the knockouts, they just seem missing. Like, before it was like the knockouts division, everyone's like, it's so fucking stacked. Now, like, all these knockouts are leaving, like Velvet Sky, Winter, and I think Angelina's about to exit the door. And then now it's just like, where's Mickie James on TV most of the time? Where's like ODB? I totally forgot she was on the roster besides whatever her and Eric Young are doing. And she got a match last night, and I was like, oh, cool, ODB. I would care if she was on TV more. And it's like, Gail Kim, where the fuck did she go? Madison Rayne, they just dropped her. I mean, to be honest, it's just kind of, I remember when TNA used to have like two knockouts matches every night on Impact, and they would have a lot of good feuds for the knockouts. Now it's like, what are they doing with them? It's just like, I don't know. I feel Tara should win the knockouts title, but Tessmacher's just too damn hot, okay? She's just too damn hot for me to really think that she should drop it.
You didn't hear the reports. There's reports going on that Bruce Pritchard's not a fan for women's wrestling in general, and that's why it's getting cut. I don't know if that's true, but it could lead to something. Pritchard does have a lot of power over there. Yeah,
Picard. Oh, fucking Picard. You're such an idiot. God damn it. I mean, he's the one who brings up this gut check concept, and he doesn't fucking have any of these superstars besides the one who failed the gut check concept. And Joey Ryan appear on TV. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, where's Sam Shaw? Where's that Alex Silva? Where's that redhead cunt? I mean, where are all these people?
They're all in Aces and Eights now.
They're all part of Aces and Eights.
Aces and Eights has a bunch of big dudes.
Yeah, they have a lot of big dudes.
Yeah, I'm 95% sure Gallus is in there. I think Mike Knox is going to be in there.
No. Do you think Kelly will make an appearance in Aces and Eights?
Oh, God. Thank God she's
gone. Don't worry, Alan. If you have NFL Network, you'll see her dumbass there.
Wait, really? Why?
You didn't hear about Bella Twins and Kelly?
Wait, what happened?
They're gonna do stuff with the NFL Network now.
Oh, shit. These are for Thursday nights, because I got work, and I'm very happy happy that I get to miss the CeeLo Green thing. I will not be
Oh
seeing
my
this.
goodness, that shit is terrible. That like seriously, I think I'm gonna make a video just to be on the TV, but that shit's terrible. That is just like the worst scene I've ever seen in an opening for. Oh my god, it's a disgrace to football. It's a disgrace.
Pretty much.
Like CeeLo Green's like, oh, I'm not singing the fucking song, and he's singing half of the fucking song. Like, oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I just.
No, I get what you mean. I think so. Overall, like, wrap it up for TNA. Like, Bound for Glory, I think it'll be Storm Rude, Aries Hardy, Tara Tessmacher, the triple tag team, Joe Magnus, and then Ace and Nate's. I still don't know, like, where does Bobby Roode, not Bobby, Bully Ray go? Where does I was assuming they put RVD on the card because I still think it's a pop.
Yeah, RVD will come out. Like, I mean, seriously, RVD needs to be on that show. I mean, he's like pretty much like what he is now is what he's like Mick Foley for TNA. He gets a cheap reaction. He's out there to get the fans going, yeah, that's fucking RVD, motherfuckers. Yeah, like the WWE uses Mick Foley. They like, okay, Mick Foley, get this guy over for us. All right, and then he comes out. Everyone's like, yeah, fucking Mick Foley, motherfuckers. That's what he's there for. He's just kind of there for cheap reactions. To be honest, X Division should be pretty solid depending on who they choose against Zema Ion. I'm actually kind of enjoying Zema Ion a little bit more, like as a worker.
He has him on TV though.
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, which
So
kind of
I don't know
upsets
what
me.
they're gonna do with him. I don't know what exhibitions are out there.
Maybe do a fatal 4-way where Zema Ion has to face all his demons or some shit like that, where he has to face like Ken King or Sanjay Dutt and maybe another random X Division guy.
Yeah, I don't know who's around these days. Doug Williams, I don't know.
No, Douglas Williams has disappeared. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with Douglas Williams.
Well, I know he's a trainer, I think, for like the minor leagues thing. Maybe TNA will piss you off, put Gunner in that match.
Oh god, Gunner's now an X Division superstar. Actually, if Gunner wins, I think if he wins the X Division, I don't know if he won the tag team, but he would be one belt away from winning the Grand Slam championship if he wins it. Like, how pathetic is that, Gunner? I don't think he won the tag team, but just think about it. He would be one belt away if he did win. That'd be just terrible.
Now, also, so who do you think's leading Aces and Eights?
Oh, okay. I have like 2 people that I think are leading Aces and Eights.
Me too.
I think Joseph Parks is behind it, and the reason being is I feel Joseph Parks because he knows all these inside informations about Aces and Eights. He just feels like he knows everything. And the fact that they kidnapped him. Why would you kidnap Joseph Parks? Why wouldn't you kidnap someone like Dixie Carter, Picard, Al Snow? Like, obviously Al Snow's gonna do something with Joey Ryan, but Al Snow, like, you know, why wouldn't you kidnap someone or Brooke Hogan? Why wouldn't you kidnap someone that's more personal to Hogan and Steen? I mean, what does Steen and Hogan have any personal relations with fucking Joseph Parks? They have nothing. I mean, Joseph Parks just asked to take pictures and use his smart relevance on TV. Like, he has no relevance. He has no personal, you know, thing with Hogan and Steen. I mean, sure, maybe Hogan and Steen like him having him around, but it just feels like, you know, he just doesn't seem like the type of guy you would want to kidnap to get Hogan and Steen very under their blood. I mean, I feel Dixie would be more of a person because Dixie is the owner of TNA or co-owner or whatever. Like,
she can't act though, that's the problem. But
yeah, she can't.
Maybe because they can do the whole lawyer thing. Maybe he's like the person, like the #1 lawyer for TNA or something.
Him and David Otunga are battling during the TNA lawsuits, the WWE TNA lawsuits.
But now, who do you think's your second? Now, who's your second guy?
I just think because it would be the lazy route. At one point I was thinking it was Bully Ray, but now I don't think it's him anymore. But just because they're lazy and they need to get this fucker back on TV because they'll feel like, oh, we don't have enough heels already, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, I know you're right. But that's actually not my pick. I actually have a different. I obviously agree with Joseph Parks, but I honestly think possibly, and believe me, I'm not excited about this. There's another heel that's run its course that just needs to go away. Eric Bischoff.
Eric Bischoff is the leader. You think Eric Bischoff like planned this with Garrett like from day one?
He hasn't been around a while, and you know he's always trying to get back at things. You know, I don't know.
I actually
Big
think
difference there.
I wouldn't be famed. I wouldn't be like famed with that, but it would definitely be shocking if it was Eric Bischoff because that's like someone you wouldn't expect because everyone's saying like Bully Ray. Some people are saying Abyss. Like, what the fuck would Abyss do with Aces and Eights? Like, oh, do you remember that storyline when Joe got kidnapped? Do you remember that?
Sadly, I do. That led to nothing, right?
Apparently, that was a setup for Aces and Eights. Apparently, they're gonna say that was a setup or something. They're gonna play into that storyline.
So, wouldn't Joe get a bigger role in this storyline?
I don't know. It's TNA. They drop storylines. I mean, I'm still waiting for the finish of Sabisco versus Raven in TNA. I never got a finish.
Raven, oh man, I miss that guy. But
I miss Raven
yeah, if
too.
they're gonna bring that up, then why give Joe the belt? I don't know. I'm still excited for Bound for Glory in general. I think it's made much, not much better, but I think it's guaranteed to be a better show.
Yeah.
Than last year. Last year just felt very.
I don't know if it will be that like the only Bound for Glory. Like it's kind of sad that this is like the best Bound for Glory. But the only Bound for Glory it hasn't beat out yet is 2005. 2005 is the best Bound for Glory by far for TNA, and they haven't even had a Bound for Glory to beat that out yet.
I think maybe it's didn't beat it out, but I thought 2008 was pretty awesome.
Yeah, 2008 was pretty good, but like, have you seen 2005 yet?
I don't remember all of it. I'm not
They have some awesome matches on there. They have Samoa Joe versus Jushin Thunder Liger. And then they have, like, Jushin actually did a really good job with Joe. And they have AJ and Daniels when that feud was relevant in an Iron Man match, their second one, which was really fucking sick. The only part of the show that was kind of lame was because Kevin Nash once again fucked up his shit, his quad. So he couldn't wrestle Jeff Jarrett in the main event. And the storyline between Jeff Jarrett and Kevin Nash at the time was actually pretty good. It was actually a pretty good storyline, believe it or not. But then what happened was they what's it called? Kevin Nash couldn't go. So they did this 10-man battle royale or something, which Rhino won. And it made sense at the time to have Rhino win this battle royale because Rhino was being booked really strong for TNA. Like he was being booked and people were over it, Rhino. Like people loved Rhino so much when he first came to the Impact Zone. And Rhino got screwed by Jeff Jarrett in Jarrett's posse that he had at the time. So it made sense for Rhino to be the next guy to go after Jarrett. And then Rhino won the belt thanks to Tito Ortiz.
Oh, yeah.
and then he won. That was like the only down point. Oh, yeah. And then I think Sting showed up at the end of it. And oh, no, Team 3D came back. That's who came back. Team 3D came back and they got the biggest reaction. Like that was like the biggest markout moment where all of a sudden, like, Rhino looks like he's about to get put in the casket after he wins the belt, and then all of a sudden, Team 3D's music hits. The Impact Zone goes nuts, and they just fucking kick the shit out of everyone. And then they 3D Eric Young, and it was just, like, the biggest markout. And it showed, like, these 3 ECW guys, like, celebrating Rhino winning the world title. Like, that was sick. I thought that was, like, one of the sickest moments for TNA Bound for Glory.
Yeah, that was definitely a feel-good moment. And it's pretty weird that was 05, and then you had the whole ECW thing in 2010, which was a major fail. I'm looking at the 2008 card right now, and there was some really good stuff on here. We had Beer Money beating Team 3D, American Exchange, and then Abyss and Morgan in four-way Monster Bowl match. I remember that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. Abyss and Morgan was a funny tag. I love Matt Morgan when he was like, I will talk about Matt Morgan's tag team. Actually, I'll talk about Matt Morgan's tag team character when we talk about Daniel Bryan and Kane.
And then, just to wrap up, I thought Booker T facing Styles and still with the company at the time, Christian. They did triple threat. Then main event was Sting and Joe.
Yeah, Sting and Joe was a good match. Like Joe got so much out of Sting in that match.
Remember he did that? They aired it recently. Joe doing that jump off the thing.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, what the fuck? Like that was a good matchup. Yeah, Battle Royale was good, but 05 to me is just like that standard where it's just like really good. Like, and that was in the shit pack zone. That shit was loud too. They were just going crazy. That was when TNA had legit fans, not tourists that come in and say, "What the fuck am I watching?" Well, now they're getting fans because they're live, but still, they have tourists that sometimes just sit in the crowd doing like, "Who the fuck is this shit?"
And they're staying live for the rest of the year.
Really? Good.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Spike TV, keep them live because really, to be honest, that's the only highest rated thing on your stupid channel.
Pretty much.
Stupid Spike. I love when Dana White goes on his rants about Spike TV. He just buries him. He's like, these motherfuckers trying to fucking promote art. Like, did you hear his rant about how when the UFC on Fox was showing Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos, and Spike TV had almost the same exact name, and they were airing just old fights between the two? Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay, so what happened was Spike TV, they were showing they pretty much they just named the event on Fox UFC Velasquez versus Dos Santos. And so Spike TV on their same network had the same exact name, UFC Velasquez versus Dos Santos, but wasn't the fight card. It was just Velasquez and Dos Santos showing old matches between them, and Dana White called them cunts, called them faggots, saying that they're stupid ass bitches, that they shouldn't be doing that shit. They're just jealous. I mean, because at the time they were still finishing the Spike contract. They were still finishing like the stuff that they had on Spike. So
Dana's been just going crazy. Like I always liked Dana, but he just needs to calm down. He says a lot of things that he's probably gonna regret looking back on it.
Like, did you hear the press conference for UFC 152? Did you hear that one? That rant?
Oh, about like how they booed the featherweights and they told them don't buy my pay-per-views.
Don't fucking buy it then if you don't fucking like it. and then when but then there was this one guy. He wrote an article saying the UFC is like a bust or something like that. And the Dana's like, White, it's like, yeah, we're so fucking terrible. Let's look at the fucking events that we had here. And then he was just like going off of all the events. And then he's like, yeah, the UFC has sucked ever since Brock Lesnar, their major draw left. Listen, fucker, Lesnar was only on 4 fucking shows. Does that make him our major fucking draw? No, Lesnar's not our major fucking draw. Our major draw has always been Georges St. Pierre. The 5 type draws in the UFC are GSP, Anderson Silva, John Jones, Rashad Evans, and whenever this old fucker comes back, Randy Couture. That's who our 5 draws are. Like, he was going on a major tirade.
Oh, man. Dana's hilarious.
See, I just wish...
He's just too much sometimes.
I just wish Dana White would one day just go into a WWE event and just, like, rip on some wrestlers. That would be hilarious.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think he doesn't hate on it, but like, he doesn't love it, but I think he respects like Vince and whatever.
Yeah, no, he always talks about that. He's like you saw that one interview where he's like, so what do you think about Vince bashing the UFC? I did not know that at all. You know, talking about ratings and whatnot. But I respect Vince. You know, I had lunch with Vince McMahon actually last weekend, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, he says that random shit. Like,
that's right. Dana, you got no chance in hell, you know.
Dana, you are a piece of shit. All right, Vince, fuck you.
Oh, man. Oh, do you remember when Dana destroyed Triple H?
Oh, no, I did not hear that.
You didn't hear that? Because remember Triple H said UFC needed to evolve?
Oh, yeah, because I heard CM Punk say something like, oh, yeah, Hunter's just kind of old school when Ariel interviewed him, but what did Dana say to Triple H?
Well, I want to get the right wording out because it was just hilarious. Hold on.
Oh my goodness, Dana.
Triple H was talking about how UFC needs to evolve and WWE doesn't. I'm just like, what? Dana White goes, his father-in-law is just now letting him speak in public. He'll get better at it. He'll stop saying stupid shit soon. And like, it was during the Jones Rampage press conference, and like Jones and Rampage were cracking up, and I don't know what was the co-main event, but like everyone was
Rampage is a huge WWE fan. He's actually expressed interest in wrestling in the WWE.
Who, Rampage?
Yeah, he's actually expressed some interest.
Well, remember he was guest hosting with the A-Team, if you remember.
Yeah, but they didn't say who the fuck he was. They were like, "Oh, it's Rampage, MMA fighter." You mean UFC fighter, right? No, MMA fighter.
You want to get into WWE now?
Yeah, why not? Let's go into the WWE. So right now, WWE has Hell in a Cell coming up, and obviously we know the main event's going to be Cena versus fucking Punk. I mean, whoever thinks that Ryback's going to step into that match is just crazy right now. But Cena versus Punk, Hell in a Cell, do you think that match will be very brutal? Do you think that would be a good Hell in a Cell match?
Well, first off, I'm gonna say very happy that WWE got rid of the whole 2 pay-per-views in 1 month because that was just garbage. Their alignment was awful. It's like Hell in a Cell's a pay-per-view that should be built up for at least a month, and they did it after 2 weeks from Night of Champions. That was some Vengeance, which was one of the worst drawn pay-per-views ever. So I'm very happy they're playing only 1 pay-per-view in October. So good job there. I think they're going to push some boundaries because they have Pullman Company. I think this has become more brutal than the recent years.
Do you think Lesnar will come out during that match?
No.
It's a possibility, maybe.
Really? You think so?
Because like I was actually talking to this one kid, and he said that maybe Ryback is turning heel, and he was just admiring at what CM Punk did to Mick Foley instead of wanting to attack him. And thinking about it, that could actually make sense if Ryback does turn heel and then ultimately turns face in the end of it all. Because if fans are going to boo him at live events, might as well, have it that way. And WWE is missing that monster heel. I mean, Kane right now is screaming tag team champions. And Big Show, I mean, does anyone really buy Big Show as a monster heel?
And Lord Tensai, or whatever the hell you want to call him, is so irrelevant these days.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good worker, but
I think a lot of buzz. I think I can see Lesnar coming back and aligning with Heyman and Punk and just doing like this thing.
Yeah, because like Lesnar didn't beat Cena, and I mean, obviously the rumors about Triple H and Lesnar happening at Hell in a Cell is not happening. So I think Triple H and Lesnar probably is dropped. I think they probably dropped that idea now because they knew that it would be a dumb idea to have Triple H versus Lesnar at Survivor Series.
They're going to save for Mania, which I'm not really thrilled about.
Oh, God. If they save that shit for Mania, I'll be pissed off. Like, I don't want to see that shit again.
I just don't see Triple H. I give them props, though, because the good news is SummerSlam did the most buys since 08. Props to them.
Yeah. Didn't they get like 325,000 buys or something like that?
Something like that. That's,
that's pretty good.
They've been pretty impressive there. But I'm pretty shocked that Punk still has the title. I really thought Cena was going to win at Night of Champions. I just had that feeling.
Now, Cena's winning that belt soon. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just whether Punk goes to 365. That's the thing. But obviously Cena's been champion. And honestly, why is anyone going to hate on it? It's like the guy hasn't been champion a year.
Yeah, it's like I mean? It's like it's been over a year. Like it's pretty much been a year because he lost at the last Hell in a Cell, and it's coming up towards a year. But it's just like, to be honest, would you guys want to see Punk versus Rock be wasted at Royal Rumble? Like, that's what I try to tell people. Like, why would you want that match to be wasted at the Royal Rumble when it could be used at Mania and help Punk get more relevancy? Because let's face it, not a lot of casuals know who CM Punk is. Like,
yeah, that's a good point. They'll probably know him as the guy who started with Chris Brown or something.
I mean, one of my friends still thinks he's the ECW champion. Like, what the fuck? Like, if my friend who barely watches wrestling, only watches wrestling when he comes over to watch WrestleMania, like, he literally thought Punk was the ECW champion. Like, when I told him about SummerSlam, CM Punk beat John Cena, he just looked at me and said, the ECW champion? And I'm like, no, he's no longer the ECW champion. He's like, wait, what was Orton versus Punk at Mania for then? I'm like, it was for nothing. It was just a match. And he's like, the hell? Like,
ECW.
Yeah, he actually thought he was still the ECW champ. Like, some of my friends don't even know who CM Punk is. Like, they know who John Cena is. Like some of my friends even ask me still, like, when's Batista coming back? Is Sting with the WWE yet? What the fuck happened to the Hardy Boys? Where's the Dudley Boys? They don't ask me. Huh? Yeah, they ask me where HBK is. My friend, my friend doesn't even know. Like, my friend, like, if anything, like, I asked my friend, who do you like more, Daniel Bryan or CM Punk? He's like, who's Daniel Bryan? I'm going with CM Punk because I know him. I was like, what the fuck? Like, now my friends know these guys, and they need more exposure. That's the thing. They're not getting the right exposure. I mean, to us internet fans, we think they're getting exposure, but they're not getting exposure to the mainstream casual audience. Like, Sheamus is not even getting right exposure. None of my friends know who Sheamus is.
Yeah, it's just, they're kind of like in a bubble, as people like to say.
Mm-hmm.
But, beating The Rock or even going up against The Rock is a big deal. Rock's a megastar. They don't give Punk big-time exposure. It's just do you think they're gonna put enough trust in him to be in a match at Mania? Because I just think they're gonna put Cena Rock again because I just don't think
I
see
think
Punk
you
as a
I
huge
think you
star.
trust Punk. You gotta trust Punk. He's your second biggest star. The only way I'll be fine with Cena versus Rock at another Mania is if Jeff Hardy's dumbass is back in the WWE and him and fucking Punk have a steel cage match or something to close that feud off, because that's the only way I'll be happy with CM Punk in any other match. Any other match besides versus Jeff Hardy, I don't give a shit. Punk needs to face The Rock.
I can't agree more. That is a very good point. Holy shit. Punk Hardy was the feud of the year now.
Exactly. And that was an awesome feud. That has, like, if there's no other opponent I'll accept for CM Punk. I don't care if him and Daniel Bryan go out and wrestle an hour. I want to see Punk versus Rock. I need Punk versus Rock because this will be a match to solidify CM Punk as the next big thing in the WWE. CM Punk needs to wrestle Lesnar in the near future. CM Punk needs to be your next big star because, to be honest, he's 31 years old. I don't care if he doesn't have the look like most WWE stars. He deserves it. He's a guy that deserves it. He needs to be the next big star. And you do this with him beating The Rock. The Rock wouldn't care. The Rock would be like, you know what? I'll be fine with it. The Rock is not a selfish human being. For all these people who think he is, he's not. He's the most unselfish man I've ever seen in my life. But CM Punk needs to beat The Rock at WrestleMania. He needs to wrestle The Rock at WrestleMania because, to be honest, there's a lot of people who are fans of CM Punk. Did you hear what Mike Tomlin said?
The Steelers coach?
Yeah.
What did he say? No.
He's like Darrell Revis is the best in the world at what he does. Well, he's not as good as CM Punk.
It's awesome.
Yeah, he's a huge wrestling fan. Like, and it shows that CM Punk. It shows that best in the world type of thing. It's just kind of, yeah. I love Mike Tomlin too. I love this. I love his attitude as a head coach. We'll talk about that later. But like, to be honest, it just shows that CM Punk, he has a lot of good name recognition towards him. He has a lot of good things towards him, being known as the best in the world. Show that he is the best in the world. Show that he will beat one of the favorites in the world of professional wrestling in The Rock. Show that he is the best. Make him the best. That is what you need to do because you can't do it with anyone else.
Yeah, it's like who they gonna put up with Sheamus? That's not gonna.
Like, I love Sheamus. Don't get me wrong. Sheamus is a good worker, but he is not the next face of the WWE. He is not the guy that I would want to pay my hard-earned money for. Punk is that type of guy. He is the guy that deserves it. He's the guy that works for it. If anyone else is to come seen as the next big guy, it should be CM Punk. I mean, to be honest, he's worked his ass off in every shape and form in that company. He has the best mic work in any shape and form of that company than anyone else in that ring. He needs to be the next big guy. And if you have him and Rock talk, that will get exposure. That will get exposure to many mainstream outlets. The Rock can call ESPN up and say, yo, it's Rock. I'm going to go fucking promote Punk versus Rock. He will do that. The Rock can get so many people into this matchup. I mean, really, to be honest, Rock versus Cena at the time made sense because Punk wasn't as big of a star as John Cena. But now Punk can form into a bigger star than John Cena if you give him this opportunity.
Totally, yeah, you're nailing it, and I think you could create a new star. I damn liking what Triple H is doing, with doing things, and I really hope he believes in Punk because they could do so many fresh things. Because think about it, you do Cena Rock, not Cena Rock, Punk Rock, and then Cena. What do you do with him? Put him with the Undertaker, and that is a fresh matchup, and that will be crazy.
And
that will probably main event.
Do you think that for WrestleMania? Do you think for WrestleMania this year, since they are in MetLife, that they should do something where they have New York Jets versus New York Giants or something like that?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like have Tim Tebow in the Jets corner and have Eli in the Giants corner or something like that?
WWE could do that. Maybe, I don't know.
You know how much pay-per-view buys that shit will get if you have Cena versus Undertaker, Rock versus Punk for the title, and then featuring Tim Tebow?
And then you're going to have Lesnar on that too?
and maybe Shaquille O'Neal.
Brock Lesnar outflashed Tim Tebow.
I think that would make a lot of people happy.
Dude, that would be one of the greatest things. And then Skip Bayless comes out into his
How dare you do that to Tim Tebow?
See, I sure work on creative. You see, I just made so many views right there.
That would get.
Just his name is in the corner, like making his facial expressions.
And then Stephen A. Smith comes out. And then Sanchez.
You see Skip recently talking about the whole Monday Night Football controversy.
Yeah, he's like they're becoming into the WWE or something like that.
But I think though, I know you're saying this, and getting back in all seriousness, I think Punk's actually he's not super popular, but he does have popularity. Like he was on one of the most famous writers or one of the most known writers on ESPN. Bill Simmons has his podcast.
Yeah, the BS report.
Punk was on that not too after a shoot interview. So I think Punk definitely has an exposure, but he's definitely nowhere near like Cena or like people know who John Cena is.
Yeah, like if you put a picture with John Cena and CM Punk, and if I ask people to I actually want to do this as a video, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. Plus, I know people nowadays are so weird with their personal space. I didn't want people to like get weirded out. I was gonna take my flip web camera and do a 10-minute video like, hey, do you know who John Cena or CM Punk is? And see if people knew who the fuck those people were. But to be honest, I just thought it would be a terrible idea because people are just so like weird nowadays that you can't have people do a survey. But like CM Punk, at that time, like the shoot promo got people interested in wrestling. I mean, it was featured on the NFL Network. It was featured on ESPN. A lot of sports people were covering it. But it's just that, he wasn't on the exposure that where, like, people know who the fuck he is. It's like, if someone said, like, oh, John Cena cut that shoe promo, they'd be like, what, John Cena? I didn't know he cut a shoe promo. I thought he was a good guy. Like, they would check that out in a heartbeat. But CM Punk, it's just like, not a lot of people knew who CM Punk was because of how poorly booked he was at that time. He was being booked to the point where, like, his contract was up. He was going to leave the WWE.
Yeah, and it made people believe like this was, like real, like it just had like a real feeling to it. But speaking of Cena, I'm always gonna respect Cena. You gotta be an idiot not to respect him. But one thing I'm a little annoyed with him is he's very inconsistent with his promo. One week I'm fussing about his promo. It's like, holy shit, Cena, you could have.
Then the next week he says fudge.
It was awful. He was making these corny references.
Fudge and cracker nips or something.
I literally had him muted.
Yeah, like one week he'll be spot on with his promo. Like he'll be like, "Oh yeah, you've been champion for 360 days, Punk, and all people remember you by is just a simple kiss goodbye." It's just like, yeah, that's true. It's like that's a good promo right there. Then the next week it's like Fudge Dora the Explorer, Puss in Boots or something.
Yeah, like that. I remember when Jericho made fun of him one time. Jericho, I don't know, Cena's the same, but Fudge, where Jericho's, what are you, 8 or something? I think it was before like the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, and then they're like, we are a PG show. I'm like, what?
I was like, oh shit. No, like you said, Cena, you always have to respect him for what he's done in the business, but I just wish he was more consistent. Like this one with that Bret Hart thing, he tore this, he was on fire. But then the next week, you have all the, oh god, this stuff again. But yeah, that's my like place.
I always find it funny. I always find it funny when people, were excited to hear Cena was injured. I was like, why are you excited to see a human being injured? Like,
what are we gonna see in the Hell in a Cell? What do you want to see? Broken down Mick Foley, and look, Mick Foley, amazing promo Monday, huge props to Mick Foley. He's a New Yorker, like me, love Mick Foley, but Mick Foley can't move. Yeah,
Mick Foley is not the same Mick Foley he used to be, and it's not like this Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley would be like, oh my god, this would be like, what do you guys really want to see Foley take a bump off the Hell in a Cell again and have it where Punk gets mainstream exposure in Foley's life? No, dude. Like, have you guys seen? You've seen Beyond the Mat, right? Have you seen that movie, Beyond the Mat?
Was that the Mickey Rourke?
No. Beyond the Mat. You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, look that up. That's a good fucking movie. I think you will like that. It came out in 1999, and literally Foley's wife was in the crowd during an I Quit match between The Rock at the Royal Rumble, and she was crying the whole time during that match because she knows it's scripted, but just sitting there and seeing her husband getting hit with these steel chairs, she couldn't take it. She was crying, and I was almost getting like emotional, like holy shit, she actually thinks this is real, and I was like, wow, man, I can't believe she goes through this, and like I don't want to see her go through that again, seeing Mick have to do the shit that he does. I mean, she was upset. And then, her kids were crying too. Her kids were crying. Every time The Rock hit Foley with the steel chair, they would just show the kids and his wife. And they would be crying. And it was like the most upsetting thing I've ever seen. And they did, and also in that movie, they have like Terry Funk, Jake the Snake Roberts talk about like him and his daughter. They talk about like puke, like they had this like character idea. They really go in depth to show what they do in the WWE, and it gives a lot of people good business mindset of what they do.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out in the future.
And definitely check out you've seen Wrestling with the Shadows, right? With Bret Hart.
I saw on YouTube a little bit. I haven't seen anything. I missed out on some good stuff. I still haven't seen the full Bret Hart Shawn Michaels Roundtable. I've seen parts of it.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good roundtable.
Step up, man. Speaking of DVDs, though, I'm totally stoked for October 8th Punk's DVD.
Yeah, that's going to be a good DVD. I think I might get 2K13 and that on the same day, maybe.
Nice. I just think what's going to be really good about this was like Edges and Jericho's I've got, and those were incredible. I got Orton's. It was good, but not on the same level. Maybe
yeah.
just doesn't have the personality. Like
it was just kind of like it was good because they didn't do anything. What I like is like when they do these non-kayfabe for the documentaries. Those are good. Like that's why I would want to buy a DVD, so that way I can learn more about the wrestler as a person. Like, have you seen the Stone Cold one yet?
The reason I don't buy a Stone Cold one is I kind of really know all about him. You know what I mean? Like, in a way, that makes any sense.
This one was good because they went more in depth of where he started out, and and he really bashed himself as a character. He bashed himself as a
Steve Austin. It was awful. Or what was it? Stein Steve Austin.
No, he bashed himself when he turned heel in 2001. He's like, if I didn't turn heel in 2001, our business would be successful. I was a selfish bastard then. Like he admitted he was selfish. And then he said when he walked out on Brock Lesnar, like that was one of the things that made me hate Stone Cold a lot, was that he walked out not wanting to wrestle Brock Lesnar on Raw. And he said that, it was selfish of me doing that. And I regret every move I made, up to that point. It really ruined who I was. Like, it really went in depth. But what I'm liking about this Punk one is that I don't know what they did to pay ROH off. Did they just say, here's $1,000 so you guys can host at a high school gym or something? Like, seriously, like they got some of Punk's ROH stuff on there. They got him signing the contract and whatnot. Like, that's gonna be some good shit. I can't wait for that.
And one other thing with Punk, ROH does be interesting. I'm very interested to see who's on the DV talk. Because Punk has so many friends or whatever. Right?
I heard Kofi said that he's going to be on there. Like they got footage of him getting his ass kicked by Punk in Street Fighter.
No, I know. They can talk about. Like I've seen Scott Armstrong, I've seen Lita, I've seen Cena, I've seen Kurt Hawkins, Joey Mercer. I've seen a bunch of guys. Cabana. I'm just seeing like who makes his entrance. I've seen a few previews already. But one thing I want to know is, and I kind of know it already, but it's still a mystery. Why exactly Punk wanted to leave? You know what I mean? Like, yes, I know he was burnt out, but let's face it, he was not happy. We all remember how the Straight Edge Society was buried. He didn't do a lot of stuff with the Nexus.
He kind of covered it a little bit in one of these shoot interviews. He said, I was walking into work and it's like, I'm working my ass off with Orton, and yet The Miz is the WWE champion.
He said that. He's like, the best heel should be main event, and he thought he was the best heel, so Miz should be. But yeah, he was like upset, he saw Miz and Del Rio getting monster pushes on Raw. This is like 2011. And Punk's just, feuding with like Big Show and Kane or whatever. It's just, But I still want to see him get into more detail on why he was mad. I want to see why the Straight Edge Society felt, because I thought Punk, other than his shoot Punk, I thought he was at his best doing the Straight Edge stuff.
Yeah, the Straight Edge Society, One Nation, under Punk, that was good shit.
Like that was one of the main reasons to watch SmackDown, other than Jericho.
And also it gave fans to kind of go to the events, because even though it was planted that who he would shave the head off of, it was kind of cool, for fans to, kind of go to the events and say, oh, maybe I'll get a chance to get my head shaved off by CM Punk, I mean, it's one of those things where fans want to get into the ring, get exposure. I mean, the Brodus Clay thing, I mean, I bet you that helps out some parents' decisions. Oh, well, maybe I should take my kid to dance with this fat ass.
Yeah, pretty much. And I just think, looking back on that, I just remember it was doing so hot. I'm just like, wait a second. The Big Show just beat all three of them in the match? What? And then next thing you know, Luke Gallows released. Serena released. I'm like, wow, this really sucks. And then, all that. I'm just very interested. I think there's some mystery with Punk. I want to see, like, how, the OVW days and, like, dealing with how the politics were and how he was never really supposed to be on TV. There's a lot of mystery to it, which makes me super excited.
Yeah, I can't wait till the I'm gonna get the Blu-ray so I can have all the extras and stuff, and there's some matches on the Blu-ray I want to see. Like, to be honest, like the match selection could have been better, but I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna bitch. Like one of the matches, like CM Punk and Hardcore Holly or some shit like that. I'm like, what?
What? I gotta look into that.
I saw there's one match. His debut match makes sense where he was fighting Just Incredible. That makes sense.
I'm gonna look that up quickly right now. Let me load it up quick. But I got a question. I don't know Blu-ray. Could I for Blu-ray, like what DVD, like what does it work on? Like what programming?
It works on the Blu-ray player or the PS3.
It wouldn't work on a Mac. Fuck.
I think it could if you like. When did you get your Mac? Like you have to look that up because the Mac installs stuff on your computer without you knowing. Like it has those updates. It could probably work on a Mac if you have like certain updates. You have to look it up though, because they probably have a Mac Blu-ray player at the Apple Store. Like the Blu-ray, like the thing about the Blu-rays, like people say, why do you get Blu-rays? To be honest, I only get Blu-rays for DVDs I'm excited for, and with Blu-ray, you get like extra bonus shit where you go into depth. Like on the Stone Cold Blu-ray, there was one where where CM Punk talks about when he first met Stone Cold, and it showed that picture of him with red hair. And then he talked about how Hulk Hogan, like during the Raw 15th anniversary, Hulk Hogan just fucking brushed him off, and then Steve Austin called him a straight edge rascal and hugged him and whatnot. It was really cool, and it goes more in depth, and you get matches that are really awesome on there that they wanted to put on but they couldn't. So
I'm about to legit just buy a Blu-ray player just for this DVD. Like that's how crazy I want for it. This is the match list. I got it. It won't take too long. It's OVW World Title match against Brent Albright. Don't really know what it is. Then it's the Just Incredible one. Then this is the first one. This one I was excited for. Him against Morrison for the ECW title.
Is that the one where the Benoit event, or is that the one where he finally won it?
The one he finally won it.
Okay.
I don't think they did that with Benoit. They got mentioned on commentary, like Joey Styles, like, oh, Benoit couldn't make it,
Yeah.
Other ones, the first time he won the Money in the Bank at 24,
That's a good Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have it on like 3 different DVDs though, so.
I really thought MVP was gonna win that one that year. I don't know what him or Jericho.
Yeah.
World Tag Titles against Legacy. That's kind of random. Him and Kofi.
I think he put it on there because he's good friends with Kofi. So.
Yeah, that's cool. This one I'm interested because I know Punk looks up to him. No DQ for the IC title against William Regal. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good match actually. On Monday Night Raw, was it? Was it on Raw?
Yeah, on Raw. I think it was in Chicago. I remember some of them. This one's awesome. That main event is SummerSlam, Punk against Hardy. I'm happy he put a match up with Hardy. I know they got beef and everything, but him and Hardy were just delivered.
Yeah, no, they needed to put a match up on there.
Punk against Mysterio at Over the Limit. They had a really good feud. They had a lot of good matches. A little weird to put Over the Limit.
Yeah, I hope that I think the Blu-ray may contain the Armageddon match, the #1 contenders for William Regal's IC title.
I'm looking down. Then they only got 3 more. Then they got the title match at Money in the Bank, obviously with Cena.
Yeah.
Then they got the Mania match with Jericho. And then the last match for non-Blu-ray is Punk Bryan Over the Limit. So that's a good listing.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good listing of matches.
Now I'm looking at Blu-ray. They got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of just brands like Hanging with Eddie Guerrero. I'm looking for that one. I'm a huge Eddie Guerrero guy.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yep, they got it. Punk Mysterio 08 Armageddon.
That one is a sick match. If no one has ever seen that match, definitely check out Punk versus Mysterio. Like Mysterio goes old school in this match. Like he does the La Mystica in this match. Like that was like the first time everyone was like, "What the fuck is that?"
They got that on Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm definitely in the Blu-ray one. I'm gonna have to go to FYE and talk to the guy about the match or whatever.
Yeah. What other matches for the Blu-ray do they have?
No, that's it. But that's the only one.
Oh, they only added that one. Wow. So
they have a lot of like features or whatever, like a lot of fun stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I thought they would probably add maybe Punk versus Jericho in the Chicago Street Fight, and then maybe another Punk versus Bryan match. But okay.
I'm kind of little. No, I'm just nitpicking. I kind of wish they put an ROH match with Joe on there, but
Punk versus Joe 2, preferably. I didn't like with Joe 1 or Joe 3, but Punk versus Joe 2 was awesome.
And maybe because the lawsuit or whatever, description. Let's talk about the other stuff. We talk about Punk a lot.
Yeah.
Now, what are the odds? I put strong odds that Ziggler's cashing in a Hell in a Cell, just because I think Sheamus is going to be brutalized or whatever.
I give the odds low because I think if they're going to have Ziggler cash in on someone, they need to have him cash in on Randall Keith Orton because they don't want to hurt Sheamus. And then Sheamus is the new Triple H. You can't hurt Sheamus. Triple H is making sure of that. Like, Triple H, he'll get beat up, but they want to make him look too weak. That's what they're going to do with Sheamus. They can't make him look too weak. They can't make Sheamus lose to Ziggler like that. Hell no. I mean, they're going to have Sheamus lose the belt to Orton, and then Orton will lose to Ziggler. I think that's the plan.
Now, my issue is when's Orton coming back, though?
I think he's coming out back in November.
All right, so then you say Orton's going to beat Sheamus, and then Ziggler.
I think Sheamus and Orton will face a TLC. And then Orton will win the belt, and it will be like a match where, Orton's all fucking beat up. And then, I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. Come on. Ziggler will come out, and then Orton will give him a scare because it's Randy fucking Orton, for fuck's sakes. Orton will give him a scare, but Ziggler will hit a zigzag. 1, 2, 3. Fans will erupt. Ziggler will become world champion, and this will lead to an Orton versus Ziggler feud.
Because I do think Dolph is going to win it, cash in before the year's over.
Yeah.
And TLC looks just about right. They did it with Bryan last year.
The only way I can see them bury the way he would take it off Sheamus at Hell in a Cell is if Sheamus wins, but he's all brutalized, and all of a sudden Mark Henry comes out, beats the shit out of Sheamus, and then Ziggler comes out.
I miss Mark Henry, man. I know I thought we brought it up last time, but man, I really miss Mark Henry just because that music and his attitude. I swear, my two favorite entrance themes, other than Drew McIntyre. McIntyre is just on another level. I love that theme. But my two favorite themes in wrestling these days are Mark Henry and Bobby Roode. Bobby Now, so that's what so do you think there's a chance for Survivor Series though? Ziggler catches in on a Big 4 pay-per-view?
That would help him, but I don't know. Like, see, to be honest, I just don't know. See, it's like the Daniel Bryan cash-in. You just don't know. Like, see,
speaking of Daniel Bryan, we should talk about possibly the most over tag team since Jerry Show.
Yeah, since Jerry Show this is the most over tag team in a long time. Daniel Bryan and Kane. I'm so glad they're a tag team and they're not fucking feuding. Oh my goodness, if they have to feud, I'd be so pissed.
And Booker T announced they're building a tag division. Like, honestly, when has been the last time we've had a legitimate tag division?
Fuck, wait. When it was like Jericho, and then Crime Time, and then there's like 3 other tag teams that didn't matter, but
Dynasty, DX, I think.
Yeah, Heart Dynasty, Legacy, that was a good one.
So that's about it. That was the time, I think. Primo and Carlito at one point.
Oh yeah, Primo and Carlito and Miz and Morrison were kind of there a little bit.
Yeah.
Before they broke up.
That was the last time really, which is pretty scary. Oh, MVP and Mark Henry also. So shit, they actually had. I think in 2009 was the last. Yeah, the
last time they had a legit tag team division. Yeah, that was like the last time they did have a legit tag team division. Kind of sad to think about it. But now we got. But one thing.
3 years or 2 years.
Yeah, you know what's kind of sad though? In this tag tournament, where the fuck are the Usos?
No, they're in it. They lost already though, first round.
Oh, who they lose to?
They lost to I think the Rhodes Scholars, Sandow and Rhodes.
Oh, okay. And then Mysterio and Cara, they're a tag team, which is the smart decision. I mean, you don't want Rey Mysterio's ACL to blow out again.
Yeah, they need him for Mania so big.
No, they're just saying, Rey, listen, bro, we don't want you to get fucking hurt anymore. So just fucking team with Sin Cara. You two will wrestle a good match. Did you hear actually what they're doing with Sin Cara?
Wow, what exactly like?
Okay, so Ricardo Rodriguez is dressing up as a guy named El Loco.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah. And that they feel Ricardo Rodriguez is the only one on the roster that can wrestle with Sin Cara. El Loco for Cruiserweight Champion.
Well, I'm gonna try to look at this up quickly, the tournament, because I want to see what the fuck is this WWE.com? I'm trying to go on WWE.com right now. They're doing promotions. Come on.
We need all the advertisers we could get. Rise above cancer. Support the fucking troops. Buy a beef jerky.
Advertisement when they did the Randy Orton just sitting on the guy's table, like promoting Kmart, and just over like half naked there, and like everyone just looking at like.
Yeah, he's like, hey dad, hey son, that's WWE superstar Randy Orton. And then they bought him like.
All right, here's the tag tournament. So it was Usos against Rhodes Scholars. Rhodes Scholars won last night.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Santino and Ryder. Oh, they're not going anywhere. No offense, but they're going up against a pretty cool team of Gabriel and Tyson Kidd.
Yeah, that's gonna. They actually were having plans for that tag team to do shit, but what happened was because Gabriel got injured during that WrestleMania match, so they kind of have to set it back a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're probably going to do Gabriel Kidd against Rhodes Scholars, and Rhodes Scholars will probably go over. And then at the bottom of the tournament, it's like an 8-team tournament. It's really awesome. It's like March Madness. You got Kingston and R-Truth against the Primetime players. I'll be shocked if the Primetime players don't go over there. They got to go over it.
Woo, get it. Woo, get it.
And the last one is a rematch from Monday. Epico Primo against Mysterio Sin Cara. Wow. So they basically just want Sin Cara once again work with.
You gotta work with all the fucking Mexicans because we don't fucking think you. I bet you right now, because like in the near future, I think Mysterio and Sin Cara will be the team that will win the titles off Bryan and Kane. I bet you right now they're having Daniel Bryan making sure he gets all Sin Cara's spots. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Daniel Bryan and Sin Cara have to work 3 hours extra just so that way Daniel Bryan can work all the spots for Sin Cara. So that way Kane doesn't have to learn shit. Because Kane would be like, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna learn.
I honestly think the Rhodes Scholars are going to take the titles from, I don't know about now, but I think eventually maybe Rhodes and Sandow win the title, and then maybe Mysterio Sin Cara. I don't know.
Yeah, Rhodes Scholars, hell no. What's Mysterio and Sin Cara? Super Friends or something like that?
I really want to see Daniel Bryan do a complete face turn because I think they're lacking faces big time. And
Daniel Bryan will turn face.
Yeah, and I just think he's not old like Kane, and it would give him more faces to work with, and that's the best thing you could ask for. Because we've been saying for years that not enough faces.
You know what's funny was I was telling one of my friends, I just Kane's character is already so ruined right now. I just kind of wish they just stuck Kane and made him a comedic relief character where they had Kane just say funny shit every once in a while, like during promo segments, and they're kind of doing that, which I'm happy with.
We're going to Disneyland.
I'm the tag team champions. No, I'm the tag team champions. As much as I like that, they will never beat Matt Morgan's. We're the tag team champions. Yes, let's go, Matt. Yes, Matt. We are going to win. As much as I love that I'm the tag team champions, they will never beat Matt Morgan's tag team championship reign. That is the best tag team championship reign in a long time. Let's go, Matt. We got a match to win, Matt. Yeah, Matt.
I swear, if Brian Kane don't win Tag Team of the Year at the Slammy Awards, I'd be very angry.
Actually, I kind of don't want them to win just so that way I can see their reaction. No! Hell no! Should win the Tag Team of the Year!
Then watch like Brian kick little Jimmy in the head. Some bullshit like that.
What do you think about?
But it's getting very stale.
Speaking of the anger management theme with Daniel Bryan and Kane, do you think this would have worked out without Dr. Shelby? I think Dr. Shelby is a great character.
I think he's awesome. I totally agree. Yeah, I think Dr. Shelby's really helping things up. He's just like, I love the way he freaks out when they're like fighting too much. He has like that, like girly voice.
Yeah, he's actually a wrestler. I heard.
Really?
Yeah. Same with the referee. He's actually a wrestler.
And then we had Harold, who was Scorpio Sky. It's funny how Harold was in the TNA pay-per-view 2 months beforehand. Now he's on WWE television.
I love Harold.
Good old Harold. Shut up, Harold. Dude, but you heard that they I don't try to look into ratings, but Raw did a really shitty rating. I heard.
What? Yeah, well, come on. What happened on Monday Night Football that made people want to watch that shit more than Raw?
Oh, true. Well, wait, but what happened Monday Night Football happened at 11:30 though. Like that game was pretty.
Well,
The Seahawks pass rush is crazy and everything, but like, I'm a little shocked at.
well, because you gotta think about this. The top 5 fan bases in the NFL go the Dallas Cowboys 1, Green Bay Packers 2, Bears 3. Then you could say Giants 4, maybe Jets because they're kind of mixed in between. And then number 5, just because of how loyal these fans are with, how loyal they've been for over the years, you could probably say the San Francisco 49ers. Those are like the top 5 fan bases in the NFL. So you would think like, the Packers with such a huge fan base that they have, and Seahawks, they have a fan base, but not as huge as the Packers. I mean, Packers are like an America team. Like people like, around the world, at least there's one person in each state, maybe besides Chicago, but there probably is, that are a Green Bay Packers fan,
Yeah. And crazy part is it's going to be Dallas and Chicago this Monday night, so I don't expect Raw Reigns to do much better because we were talking about 2 major fan bases.
Yeah, those are 2 huge fan bases. Like, you can find a Bears fan at least anywhere on the state, and I fucking can find Cowboys fans everywhere. Like, I know Cowboys fans fucking everywhere. Like,
yeah, I know about 5 Cowboy fans, and I live in New York.
Yeah, exactly. So it shows how big the Cowboys are. But
other stuff for us to say, who would you have to see Cesaro feud with next?
I was hoping Ryder, but
I try to go for Ryder, but I still think they're big on him. I just think they're just
apparently Ryder's going through a new gimmick or something like that. That's what I heard. Cesaro.
But
you know what? Cesaro needs to get back at that Cobra puppet. Book it.
A cool way to debut, but they're not going to do this because
I still believe to this day that they're still trying to plan Miz versus Little Jimmy at WrestleMania.
That would be funny. You know what I think they could do, which would be pretty cool way to debut? Imagine they debut Rollins against Cesaro, which would be, and all the internet would just cream over that.
I'm not a huge Tyler Black guy.
I told you this before, and I don't blame. I think his look's pretty stupid. I don't like his look. I think the whole tie-dye look, and Jeff Hardy could do it, but his hair just too long, and I don't know.
Like, he's a good talent. Like, he has all the talent in the world to be great. It's just that I'm not huge on him. Like Cesaro. Like, I'm huge on Cesaro. I've been a Claudio fan since I was like in the PWG original home in Ventura. Like, or up north, actually, more up north. They wrestled in Ventura, California. Like, I went to these high school gyms and watched these guys wrestle in PWG. So I've been a huge fan of Hero and Claudio for the longest time. But it's like, I don't know who you would put him up against right now.
Yeah, because you want the U.S. title to get really, because it's been such a joke for so long. Oh, you know what I heard a rumor of?
What?
Speaking of guys that are getting relevant, NXT is happening. I don't know if he's going to feud for the U.S. title, but since it's in Oklahoma soon, there's going to be a Jack Swagger face turn, which I think is very needful. I've never been a Swagger fan.
The only way that face turn will work if you have Kevin Durant promote Jack Swagger.
Really? So you're that down on him?
Yes, because what would you do for his face? I would love to see Swagger turn face, but what would you do? I mean, you need Kevin Durant to.
With some heat, I don't know. Text someone that's a lot of heat.
Yeah, but does Cesaro have that heat?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know.
See, that's why you need Kevin Durant so the OKC fans can overreact. Like, Kevin Durant's like, introducing my homie, Jack Swagger. Like, with this bad...
Someone beat up JR and Swagger saves it.
Yeah, that would work. Have Cesaro beat up JR. That would actually work, actually. Like, JR comes out, and you can have some Oklahoma people there, and then JR's like, my appreciation night, by God, and then all this other stuff. And then Cesaro's like, says stuff in like all his 8 different fucking languages. And then Cesaro just beats up, and then all of a sudden, yeah, 1, 2, and then Jack Swagger just runs out, and he beats the shit out of Cesaro, and then later on he puts it.
Not unbelievable at all, but I just heard rumors that Swagger's gonna turn face, which is much
needed. They need to.
I'm all for a second chance.
They already fucked up when they didn't make him turn face against Michael Cole. That was
such a
that was the dumbest thing. Oh yeah, no one remembers your fucking world title reign. And then Swagger gets all pissed off, and he walks away. It's like, wow, Swagger's gonna turn face. And then Cena's mystery opponent, Jack Swagger. What?
I honestly think though, they made Cole stay, like Vince wanted to stay, because Swagger had a lot of heat, and they just want to bury him a little more. I think that was like legit.
Yeah.
Nobody even remembers his world title reign.
No one does. I mean, seriously, his world title reign's so forget. Like, what's sad is Dolph Ziggler is like 20-minute, 10-minute world title reign is more remembered than Jack Swagger's 3-month world title reign.
Like, people forget that Swagger beat Randy Orton clean on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, no one remembers that. They're just like, what? No, that's not real. It's like,
They beat Randy Orton? What?
Especially when Randy Orton just broke off of Legacy. I mean, that is a huge deal right there.
Like, you're telling me Christian couldn't go over clean on Orton, but Jack Swagger did?
Yeah, check 1, 2.
Oh, man. But... yeah, I just heard a rumor that I don't know who Cesaro feud with. I thought maybe Tyson Kidd would be cool just for the hell of it, but I don't know. And then another thing we gotta discuss is looks like Ryback's gonna be facing someone legit in the Miz.
Feed me more.
I'm still not big on him, but I'm gonna give Ryback credit. He's getting over.
Yeah, he's getting over. But I just didn't like how they made the Miz look like a bitch.
Yeah, I think Miz has definitely improved since he's come back. He's more aggressive. I love his new look. The fog really got stale out.
I don't like his beard. He needs to shave that.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but
it's like Paul Pierce. When Paul Pierce always tries to grow out his beard during playoff time, he looks like a little kid.
They keep the goatee or something, but not like, keep it clean. But overall, though, I hope they do something more with the Miz in the future. But if he dropped the title Ryback, I wouldn't, they should maybe wait till Survivor Series, let Ryback win on a big stage, and then we'll see how the Pittsburgh crowd reacts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be good.
Hell in a Cell, I know it's kind of a big pay-per-view, but let's save some big moments for Survivor Series, like what they did with Punk and Del Rio last year, and how Wade Barrett pinned Orton clean last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like they just need moments for the big four, especially for Survivor Series. I mean, I don't even know what they're going to do for Survivor Series.
Yeah. And, Survivor Series is still a big four pay-per-view, and I went last year, and it was really special. Like, there's no major, holy shit, remember this match, It was more just, moments.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed the hell out of Survivor Series.
Yeah, I went to SummerSlam last.
Good pay-per-view.
I went to SummerSlam last year, and that was fun. I mean, there's two good matches on that card, and then I got to see Kevin Nash try to run to the ring after he texted himself backstage.
I honestly think honestly a lot of people underrate SummerSlam. So I thought that other than Money in the Bank, that was show of the year.
Yeah, a lot of people do underrate it. Like, a lot of people say that, like, oh, it was an okay show, it was an okay SummerSlam, but it was pretty good.
Dude, that show was awesome. A lot of people forget how good that Daniel Bryan Wade Barrett match was. I know it had zero build-up, but that match was freaking awesome.
Not gonna lie, no one stayed for that match live.
Which is a shame.
The Divas match, everyone stayed for it. All of a sudden you hear, I had enough. I've been good. Everyone just gets up.
Oh, I'm tired of this. That's a shame. They should have done it during the CeeLo Green bullshit, which was the worst part.
Oh, no. Actually, people were all walking out during that shit. They're like, introducing CeeLo Green. One guy next to me is like, oh, I'm out. I'm fucking out of here.
But just, looking back at that pay-per-view, it's like, you had Cena Punk, which was still top match. Orton Christian, was just amazing. Holy shit, that match was awesome. Edge coming back was a mark-out one for me.
Oh, when Edge came out, I was like, what the fuck? Because, the people were saying, my friend was like, oh, it's fucking Edge. I'm like, nah, dude, people saying Edge ain't coming out. And then I was like, on this day, I'm like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. If it was Tonko, I would have gone, you would have seen me gone down that ramp, hug Tyson Tonko, and be like, you're back! You're back! Perfection is back! And then they would drag me away. And
the true problem solver is back.
The problem solver. I love Tonko.
I'm just looking more at that SummerSlam. SummerSlam 2011, Beth Phoenix, Kelly. That was the best women's match I've watched in over.
Yeah, that was a good women's match.
That was a damn good women's match. I was like, holy shit, they actually got Kelly out of it. And then Mark Henry, Sheamus. Wow, they actually did something.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy when that shit happened. Everyone was freaking out. We're like, oh my goodness! And then afterwards, the funniest part was that random black guy who ran away. He was a really cool guy. I actually talked to him, but yeah, he was pretty funny.
It's just I'm looking back at that card. That was such an awesome pay-per-view. I didn't know the reason people were pissed was just the Punk lost the title. We really wanted him to keep it, but that SummerSlam was so awesome. I always will remember that.
Did I tell you the story how Booker T was breaking up a fight between CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio fan?
I don't remember that.
Okay, it was after the show because after the show they were showing Punk was down in the ring and Del Rio was like, Alberto Del Rio, Alberto Del Rio, and then all of a sudden there was this fight between a Mexican and this fat CM Punk fan, and they were fighting, and then all of a sudden Booker T he jumps over the barricade. And he grabs the Mexican and holds him back, and then Jerry, and he holds him back. He's like, and he's screaming at it. You can see Booker T screaming at this guy, and then Michael Cole is just ducking. He's just running. He's like, oh, I'm fucking done with this shit. And then Jerry the King Lawler is like kind of like tempting. Should I go? Shouldn't I? And Justin Roberts is like covering his head. Like it was the funniest.
Wow, man, dude, SummerSlam is so awesome. SummerSlam 2011 takes a shit on SummerSlam 2012.
2012, I think people like overrate that show too much.
It was so average. It was
like one person was like I never seen a bad Daniel Bryan match in the WWE till he faced Kane in that one match. I'm sorry. That was a
Ziggler was solid, you know, Jericho did his thing, and then just then that main event happened, just like,
Hey, Triple H, you just been in the Kimura for 2 minutes. What are you gonna do? Well, even though my arm's supposed to be fucking broken, I'll still hit the fucking pedigree. And Brock Lesnar will still no-sold that to Kimura. What?
And you know what's crazy? Orton and Christian stole the show last year, and both of them weren't even on SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was telling my friends when I was sitting there, I got an idea. Why don't they just make the WWE Championship Triple Threat into a Fatal 4-Way and add Randy Orton? And I said during the World Heavyweight Time match, I know what would make this match interesting if I think Booker T wasn't named SmackDown General Manager at the time, was he? Or no?
I don't think so. I think AJ was still doing it. I'm not positive, though.
Yeah, I can't remember. I said, why doesn't AJ just fucking come out and say Randy Orton's in this match? I mean, it would save the show a lot. Like, I was just thinking of ways to get Randy Orton in the title match because I was just saying, like, some of these matches weren't interesting. Like, Sheamus and Del Rio, I'm sorry. That just got old quick. I mean, seriously, I've never been sick of a match more than my life, and that was just sick. Like, Orton versus Christian, at least you got good match quality out of it, even if the feud wasn't that great.
Out for that match? Because I was on the top. I was standing up for
no, dude, that match was crazy, dude. I was just, like, the thing is, I was sitting in the VIP section, so you don't really need to stand up in that section, and it's kind of rude when you stand up in that section, because the seats are different leveled. So when you stand up, you kind of are blocking other people's views of the match. So you don't want to be a dick, but I had my moments where I was standing up and cheering. That's for sure.
Now, we also, I guess, a few other things with WWE. I guess we have to talk about the women's division.
Really?
They're doing this weird injury angle with Caitlyn, and I really don't care.
I have a theory behind this. Kevin Nash texted himself. Caitlyn attacked herself.
Ric Flair comes out and steals all the women and take him out to
I heard Soledad Del Rey might be behind this, actually. I heard she might be behind it.
I heard she's just a trainer for FC. I don't know. I wouldn't mind it. It's a woman that could work, because as the rumors are coming out, Beth Phoenix is likely leaving, which is a huge blow.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
Beth Phoenix hasn't done a lot lately, but she's still a hell of a talent.
Yeah, I heard her and Edge are just going to do indie shows and make tons of money off that. But, I mean, Edge is secured for life, and Beth is probably...
Hall of Famer.
And if Beth is fucking... she's probably secured for fucking a while now, too, so... Yeah.
It's pretty funny that it was just, you got Punk and Lita going on, now you got Beth and Edge, and, imagine a double date with those four.
Oh, my
God. So you
goodness.
didn't see you naked, you didn't see you naked.
Yeah, we've all fucked. Let's just say that.
Punk and Edge, another thing. But, it's weird, the combinations, because I remember people were talking, Beth was pushed.
Yeah.
Like summer, people were saying it was because Punk was getting the reins or whatever.
Yeah, and then after they broke up, what happened to Beth Phoenix?
Pretty much. But speaking of, now what do you think about Eva as champion? She's okay. She's improving. I think she's starting to grow on me. She's not like annoying, like I'll change the channel anymore.
Well, despite her dating a Gracie, because that's a lie. She's actually married to me. Me and Eve are actually married. I like to believe that sometimes, but I like Eve. She's the only heel diva that can talk on the mic. She's the only diva I feel right now besides Beth with the character. She's okay as an in-ring talent, but yeah, that's all I can really say about Eve. I mean, I think she's hot. That's for sure. She's hot.
Absolutely. You gotta be out of your mind if you don't think Eve's hot.
Like, like I'm subscribed to her on Facebook, and I just kind of like comment on everything she says, saying, "Will you marry me?" But doesn't mean I'm obsessed with her. Doesn't mean I'm obsessed with Eve.
Man. Now, no, well, we should talk about this because we didn't do it. Fuck, how we mentioned right? We hope the best goes for Jerry Lawler, of course.
Yep.
We haven't brought him up yet, and I don't know. I really, really hope that he stays away for a while. Not because he hasn't been doing a good job, just for his health. Because
for his health.
Interview on Monday, he couldn't talk.
He was like he had a tube in his throat. It's just like, he just needs to relax. He needs to like take this time to recover. I mean, because a lot of people don't notice, Jerry Lawler does more than just WWE. He goes to all these indie shows every single time. Like, you know that? Like, he does indie shows like on a daily basis, pretty much. Like, because he doesn't need to be at the WWE house shows. I mean, the WWE house shows don't have commentary. So what is Jerry Lawler doing on all those days off? He's going to indie shows around the world.
Yeah. Like, especially Memphis.
Like he just needs to sit back, relax, and you would be cool at WrestleMania, or some people say Survivor Series. At WrestleMania, you show this live. Please welcome WWE Hall of Famer Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler just comes out and gets a standing ovation from the crowd. That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Man. That would be sick.
And especially if it happens, in New Jersey, New York area, you'll get a huge pop.
Everyone would be like, yeah, like you just show that live. That would be amazing.
Yeah, either the Rumble or maybe it's my prediction where Jerry Lawler comes back. I think he has to take the rest of the year off just for his health,
The Rumble's still in Phoenix, right? They didn't change that.
Yep, the Raw is still in Phoenix, same place where Bound for Glory is.
I'm debating on going to the Rumble. I'm not 100%.
Really?
Yeah,
why not?
Because California is right next to Phoenix, Arizona. It's not even a long drive. Like most people might think it's like a 24-hour drive. It's actually like 10 hours the most, and my car is really good on gas. So me and my friend are kind of debating because we want to see The Rock live before he's done with wrestling forever, but we don't know yet. I'm debating for sure if I want to go.
You know what's cool? We're already in September, and I have no clue who's gonna win the Royal Rumble. Last year I thought, and I'm not making this up. I remember in August I posted on Smarks. I said I really think Sheamus is going to win the Rumble. But then I changed. Jericho came back, and then eventually Sheamus won, which, whatever. But I really don't know who's going to win the Rumble this year.
I remember I made a top 5 people who I thought was going to win the Royal Rumble. And I don't know why, because at the time Sheamus was being poorly booked. I just didn't think Sheamus was going to win it. So I didn't say his name. And I just felt like a dumbass for not saying his name at all in the video. Like, I said Wade Barrett, though. At least I gave Europeans love there.
Yeah, Wade Barrett was a sleeper. And, speaking of Wade Barrett, new gimmick and everything, I've always liked Wade Barrett. He's great on mic. He's improving ring. But I just don't see this gimmick working for him. Because, his finisher, the souvenir with the punch?
You mean the elbow?
Elbow, sorry. Now, I see what he's doing. He's doing it to like Gabriel Kidd, whatever. Am I supposed to believe he can do it to Sheamus and Sheamus is going to get knocked out?
Exactly.
That move, I wasn't crazy about the wasteland, but the wasteland was far more believable than this move on a big guy. What if he does this to Kane?
Okay, can you just imagine that? You know how he pulls him in to do the souvenir, right? He pulls him in to do the souvenir to Sheamus. Sheamus will just be staggered, and then he pulls him in again to do it again for a second time. That would just look awkward.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know if this is going to get... And plus, Barrett's not really a big guy. He's kind of like a hybrid, Remember we saw that match where it was feud or Orton. It's like, wow, these guys are kind of like the same size.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a tweener in a way.
Yeah.
With his size,
It's hard to say, what the... I just don't know. Like, I don't like... to be honest, I just don't like when fighters bring their fighting gimmicks to, like, WWE. I like my MMA and WWE different. Like, WWE is supposed to be entertainment for me, just to sit there and be like, oh my god, they're doing shit that is totally unrealistic, but it's fucking awesome at the same time. That's what WWE is for me. I mean, do I believe fucking Jeff Hardy does, like people can, in fights, can actually do swantons and shit like that? No. But that's the whole point. It's supposed to suspend your disbelief and have fun with it and think it's fucking awesome. I don't want it to be where I feel like everything's realistic. I mean, that takes the fun out of wrestling if everything's always real. I mean, it doesn't need to be always real to me.
Yeah, it just, with the whole, Wade Barrett, he's not big enough, like, where to the point where he can do a knockout on a big guy. Like, he can do it on the kids and the Gabriels, but you know, maybe they'll refine his game. I like how he still does the slam.
The black hole slam.
Wins it change, even though people call it the black hole slam. I thought Jim Ross was gonna say it.
Yeah, no, he said that one time. Like someone hit the black hole slam, and then on Jared King Lawler was like, "Hey, what is that move, Jr.?" And then he's like, "Black hole slam." He said it really quietly because he didn't want it to get it too big on TV.
You know what was funny? Speaking of TNA reference, you know what was great? When Christian came back at Elimination Chamber 2011, Booker T goes, Christian Cage, Christian, like he totally clocked. Because he went to go save Edge because Del Rio had an arm breaker or whatever, arm bar or whatever, and Christian comes in, Booker T calls him Christian Cage.
Oh, Booker T. I miss him on commentary, to be honest.
I think he'll be back, though, because I'm hearing a lot of reports, you know, AJ's not doing too hot.
Oh, did you hear what Punk called AJ at a house show?
I heard he referenced AJ Styles' real name, but
yeah, he's like, shut up, Alan Jones.
Yeah, AJ Styles. That's AJ Styles' real name.
Yeah, him and AJ Styles hate each other, apparently.
Yeah, I remember I watched their old shoot interview recently, just for the hell of it. I was bored. Punk and Joe, and they were talking high about AJ, but apparently some autograph signing AJ told someone to hide the Punk shirt. Maybe AJ's jealous because AJ can't cut a fucking.
Or maybe I heard it went down the lines something about ROH. Like it was like AJ disrespected ROH when they were doing the TNA ROH merger or something like that. And AJ said that no one here but Joe has the amount of talent that we do in TNA. And I think that kind of rubbed Punk the wrong way. So him and Punk have always just been kind of having beef with one another. Like they've never liked each other. So.
Even though there's no comparison, because AJ has absolutely still zero promoted.
Yeah, he has no Punk is more of a technical wrestler. AJ's more of a high flyer. They're totally two different wrestlers in all aspects of their games. Like they're too different to kind of compare the two.
I can never see AJ Styles in WWE ring, or never see him. That's one guy I could never see him and James Storm. Just never see them making the jump.
If he made the jump to WWE, I think James Storm would get over though. I think WWE would have a kick with him.
Really, you think so?
I think they would have a kick with him. I mean, he's a true redneck, and also when you're in good terms with Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think that's pretty good if you're James Storm.
That's true. Then you could say the same thing for Joe, because Austin shouted him out at one point.
And
not
to mention,
I remember X-Pac said something once. He said, not too long ago actually, he said, Dixie Carter, you have to realize that TNA is just going to become WWE's video package. They're going to be like the video memories. He thinks WWE's going to buy out TNA similar to the WCW, and I was just laughing at that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of true if you think about it. I mean, there's going to come a point where Bobby Roode needs to be in the WWE ring.
I would hope so. I just want this lawsuit to end, because they're doing this whole lawsuit, and that's why guys like Flair can't come, and I think Morgan couldn't come in. I think WWE had little interest in, but I don't think there's any serious Matt Morgan's coming.
Yeah. Oh, Matt Morgan. Matt Morgan would have helped the company though. I think in the long run, I think he would have helped out a lot.
You really think so? I've never been high on him. Yeah.
I just think that with his big suit style, he would have helped out with like there would be another babyface if you would Punk. I just want Jeff Hardy back, to be honest. Jeff Hardy should I said to someone, what if Jeff Hardy came out during the Austin Aries match and he was supposed to win, but then later on he fucks up a spot and he tells Aries to cover him, and Aries is like, okay, and he doesn't kick out, and then Hardy just walks out and he just takes up all his stuff, gives it to some fans, and walks out, and Aries just gets the belt, and he's like, what the fuck just happened? He just looks at Jeff like, what the fuck? And then Jeff just walks out and goes, peace, and Aries is just
that'd be amazing.
He'll just be so confused, what the fuck just happened? And then the whole game's like, what are you doing, brother? And then Hardy's like, Duke's just mad. He grabs the WWE contract, signs it, and leaves.
No, dude, and that's their WrestleMania, too. It'll be that's Bound for Glory, I always feel bad for Matt Morgan Hernandez, because I told you before, whenever I think of those two names, I just think of that First Blood match, and they always will get they always get a bad rough taste in my mouth when I think of those two. From that amazing 5-star pay-per-view, Victory Road.
The best match was AJ Styles and Matt Hardy. That's how you know that pay-per-view was kind of bad.
Oh, man. And then you see Ric Flair just hobbling on the freaking apron.
All right. So you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, just one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Flair will legitimately come back?
Yes, I think he will, and it will be good for the WWE. I think that he should just play a manager or, like a higher up role on TV. He needs to be on TV because he's an interesting character. I just don't want to see his dumb ass in the ring.
Yeah, no, WWE's high stance. They're not like Flair in the ring. Come on. Especially what happened after Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, I just feel Ric Flair should just come, do his thing, be on TV, be entertaining like he always is, but just stay out of the ring.
I heard Spike TV made like a complaint to TNA. It's like, we can't have Ric Flair's wrinkly old body shirtless on TV. Rumor about that. I don't know if it's true, but I can totally see it.
Yeah, it's not like you guys show fucking nasty shit about guys getting their heads chopped off or their balls ripped off on 1,000 Ways to Die Spike TV.
We gotta see Roy Nelson shirtless on. Well, we gotta see Roy Nelson shirtless.
We can't see Ric Flair's wrinkly old body.
Yeah, I think Flair will obviously help it. You know what segment I love to see? Like back and forth between Ryder and Flair doing the woos.
Yeah, woo 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 woo. Like, that would be amazing.
Awesome.
That would be awesome.
I guess we'll wrap it up now. We've discussed a lot, and there's also another rumor that they might be dropping Vicky from Dolph.
Have her drop to Little Jimmy. That would be funny, though. I think that would be funny if they just have Vicky Guerrero like, what is this? Excuse me. And she just falls out of random, like, what the hell? Little Jimmy's on the attack. And then they just, like, book it with Vicky Guerrero.
I think that'll be worse than the finger poke of doom.
Yeah, but it'd be hilarious. I mean, if you want to write it off TV, you might as well do something stupid.
I remember when Daniel Bryan kicked Little Jimmy.
Yeah, that was depressing. I was depressed when that happened. I was like, what the fuck, man? There's nothing wrong, man. He's a good kid. I don't know.
One other thing, a lot of people were praising. I mean, a lot of people, like wrestlers all over, the Dolph Kofi match. Maybe sign for Kofi in the future.
Hopefully he does get pushed in the near future.
It was a very good match. I haven't seen like a upper mid card Raw match go that long in a very long time.
And it was also refreshing because we haven't seen Dolph and Kofi in over a year, so it was nice to see them go at it one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I guess we're gonna wrap it up now. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I pretty much covered everything. I pretty much covered everything we wanted to talk about for wrestling.
Yeah, you got Bound for Glory and Hell in a Cell this month, and I'm expecting a lot of good stuff. And then Survivor Series November. What's TNA's got a Final Resolution November? I think so. Yeah, it's either Final Resolution or no. Genesis is in January now. It's either Final Resolution or Turning Point. One of those two. Or did they already do Turning Point? I don't remember TNA's schedule anymore. Yeah, me neither. I just hope this something big happens to Aces and Eights. I really hope this isn't a flop because it's really dragging out. Yeah, it's dragging out to the point. But make sure you guys check out my channel and subscribe all the time. Also follow me on Twitter and check out all of Alan's stuff on the John Sports, right? TGR Sports, yeah. Doing a lot of MMA stuff recently, and very happy with the MMA one. Also, actually check out the main John Report. Isn't the JohnReport.com his wrestling stuff? It's TJR Wrestling. TJR, yeah. Check out TGRWrestling.com as well. Alan doesn't write for there, but there's some good content on there. Good content. Stuff on like at least two articles a day, I think. Other than like the weekends, like you got headlines, then you'll get like maybe a Raw review or like a character, like someone looking into a character, like say like a Ryback or whatever. And yeah, there's a lot of content. Yeah, so definitely check out that. That's a really good website. I'll plug all the TGR shit on there and also Alan's Twitter on my video. Thank you all for watching. I'm hoping there will be more guests next time. Make sure you guys hit me up in advance. We'll be back for the November edition of the Wrestling Roundtable, and I'll see you all later.